You'll pardon me, my fellow countrymen, because today you will not see any smiles from Caleb. Why? Because I'm fuming because of a new article that came out on the 31st of August by the New York Times entitled, "America's Constitution is Sacred, but is it also the biggest threat to our politics?" These morons at the New York Times call this journalism? These idiots do not realize that our very Constitution protects their right to be able to write this filth. So you don't like the outcome of an election. So you don't like a particular political candidate. So you want to overthrow an entire system. The American system was created because it realized that individual rights are paramount. The Constitution in the First Amendment protects your right to a free press. And I'm glad that it does. But now you see a press that is largely run by fascists who want to overthrow the very government who protects their rights to free speech. That is dangerous. That is disgusting. And that is un-American. And I felt that I had to get up here and say something about it because as a patriotic American, I know that it is a blessing to be an American citizen. I know the foundations of our government, our true government, the Constitution, are pure and good, not the bureaucracy that is running the show right now. That's why I fight so hard and speak so loudly for our foundational documents, because I know that it is in large part due to those foundational documents and this country's historic firm reliance on God that we became the most prosperous nation in the world. And I believe with all my heart that it is because we have forgotten those foundations that we are now suffering, and we are now seeing a constitutional republic that is being crippled. This should outrage every single American. This is not the American way. I am glad that we live in a constitutional republic, and I want to see it restored. You see, the problem we have today is that a lot of these people that are in this country today do not realize that the founders gave us a system of government that is unlike any in the world, that runs on the basis that the government works for you, not you for the government. You are not a slave. You are a free man. And it's time that we wake up and we realize that we realize that we must restrain the government with the chains of the Constitution. The founders knew this. That's why they gave it to us. And now we are suffering because the moral foundations of the people are crumbling. We must get back to God. We must get back to constitutionally limited government and not this crap. And I am disgusted that someone in the media would even have the gall to write this. But I am glad that the First Amendment protects their right to write such filth. It's just disgusting to me that this would even be printed. But I'm not surprised. Go figure. It's the New York Times. So I'm sure that that's probably in line with their readership. But that sounds pretty fascist to me. This is un-American. It's bigger than any election. They don't like the outcome of certain elections. And they don't like the outcome of how Donald Trump is succeeding in spite of the very system that wants to keep him down. So they want to burn the whole system to the ground. Make no mistake, this is not just about Donald Trump, as I've told you before. This is about you and me. This is about preserving the Constitution of the United States. This should alarm and anger every American, just the same as I am. But I had to get up here and talk to you about it because it's garbage. It's filth. And it infuriates me that any self-respecting paper in the United States of America would argue that our Constitution needs to be trashed. That's what makes us Americans. That's what should unite all of us. In spite of all of our cultural differences, we should be able to unite around the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the idea that all men are created equal and have the ability to be able to live their lives the way they see fit, and that government is not the arbiter of how an individual should live their life. That is something worth fighting for, that's something worth living for, and that is something worth dying for. And so it is outrageous to me that anybody in the United States would argue for that. But am I surprised? No. Go figure. If you want to read this filth, which I would advise you not to, but if you want to subject yourself to this mental garbage by the New York Times, I'll drop a link to that article in the description of this video. And do me a favor, please like, share, and subscribe, because we need to get this out and we need to wake up as many people as possible. Godspeed.